I'm going to obtain the Ultima Weapon in Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 as fast as possible. I completed each run for a segment called Meme Run Monday, where I speedrun a meme category on Monday. This is a compilation of all 3 runs. Take a guess on which one will be the fastest. And with that, let's begin Kingdom Hearts 1. Oh god, what have I gotten myself into, dude? Okay. So for Meme Run Monday, I tried to do a category called Ultima %. I would start a new game file, then make the Ultima Weapon as fast as possible. The problem is, I was very unprepared for the task ahead of me, and this run ended up taking a little bit more time than I would have liked. Cause I'm not kidding, guys, this is gonna take us a while. Anyway, we started the run. 07 chat. 07. And then immediately ended the run. We have to reset the run. Hold on. And just like that, I got a new world record. No, but really, I had to reset to pick the staff for more MP since later on we'd need to deal with a certain creature. I also picked the midday route so that we would level up evenly throughout the run, just in case. Then from there, we did a lot of what you'd see in a typical any % run up to the Dragon Maleficent fight in Hollow Bastion. Going into this, I didn't do a whole lot of precise routing, but I generally based this off of the Jiminy's Journal 100% route. In hindsight, it would have been smarter to follow the Platinum Trophy run, since there's one trophy that requires you to synthesize all items, but yeah, I didn't do that, so we're stuck with this. Overall, my plan was to collect materials along the way if I could, including dark matter, mithril, and orichalcum, which are materials that can only be found, bought, or synthesized. I also planned to get some extra magic that wouldn't normally be in the any % run. One was Thundara, which required starting Olympus and completing Atlantica. Another was Stopra, which required completing Pooh Swing in 100 Acre Wood. Dude, this is some intense music for the swing minigame. And finally, Eroga, which required getting the Yellow Trinity from Olympus and collecting all 99 puppies. After that, I would complete the game all the way through the end of the world and stop at Final Rest before the door to final fights. Then it was time to start the grind. Again, from here, I was pretty unprepared. The prep I did do was this little spreadsheet of all the materials. For each one, I wrote down how many I needed and where to find them. And that's it. That's all the knowledge I had. Take a guess on how many hours this split will take. I headed to Deep Jungle first since I thought I'd be able to run through rooms and clear everything with thunders and attacks and, you know, stuff. I'd also be able to grind lightning stones from the Black Requiems, which is one of the special heartless that I was dreading. I lost it. Wow. God. Gamer. Tired eyes. Oh my god, dude. However, when I got there, I quickly noticed that my Thundara was pretty weak, so I had to resort to smacking everything. My lack of KH1 knowledge really showed here, but chat was kind enough to give me some advice. They told me about Bambi strats, where filling up his bar by defeating enemies would give a chance at him dropping materials. They also told me about how much stronger Thundaga is, and that it might be actually worth it to go and grab it. I avoided it in my routing because the last thunder is from the behemoth in Hades Cup, and I wanted to avoid doing extra stuff on top of what I was already doing. Also, I just didn't want to do Hades Cup because I'm lazy, but I decided it would probably be worth it, so I planned to go there after I finished grinding power crystals in Hollow Bastion. So I went to OC and fought the behemoth. The behemoth is the 30th seed in the Hades Cup, so I only had to fight through a little less than half of the entire cup. But it ended up being completely worth it. We went to Agrabah next to grind some materials, and holy Zeus, we were Zeusing. Thundaga was doing way more damage and made grinding a lot faster and easier. Thanks, chat. We got what we needed, including the mithril stones from the pot scorpion, and went on to the next world. I decided to go to Wonderland to farm shadows and Giga's shadows. By the way, I don't know why they're called Gigas Shadows. I feel like it would make more sense to call them Giga Shadows, but whatever. I like these guys. I remember the first time I played the Final Mix versions of this game, I freaked the peepo out when they appeared. Chat once again carried the run and told me to use Dumbo to spit on them so I would stay invincible. Spit on them. Spit on them, Dumbo. The gimmick of this special Heartless is basically that if they hit you, they'll go away, so using Dumbo to keep that from happening gave me the best chances at farming both Lucid Shards and Fury Stones. After that, I went to Neverland on the advice of chat to continue farming shadows in the ship basement while also farming other materials. Now, at this point, it was about 6 AM for me. We had started this run at around 11 PM and had been going for a little over 7 hours at this point. Not gonna lie, I was starting to feel a little bit sick, but that was pretty much due to me wearing my headphones for as long as I did. I don't know, my head just starts hurting when I wear them for too long. So I took them off for the rest of the run, and after a quick break, we got back to the grind because the grind don't stop, as they say. I headed over to Traverse Town to start farming Sniper Wilds. I wasn't dealing with them very efficiently, so I decided to leave them for later and went to Hollow Bastion to farm some Red Nocturnes. However, there aren't a lot of Red Nocturnes in Hollow Bastion, so I went to Monstro instead. I could grind them there and then get the Frost Stones from the Grand Ghost. We had been at this for 8 hours total at this point, and just 3.5 of it was dedicated to grinding materials. It's funny looking back at this footage at around this time because I sound so tired. How's it going? It's going okay. We've been at this for a very long time, but it's going okay, I guess. Let's see. We're chipping away, I guess, at like all the stuff we need to do. The weird thing is, I actually felt okay during the run. I guess I was just numb to the pain or something. But anyways, after getting all of our stuff in Monstro, we headed over to Halloween Town. We got through the Halloween Town grind relatively easily. The drops weren't too bad, and the Chimera was one of the easier special Heartless to deal with due to us having Eroga. However, this section did highlight a pretty big criticism that most people have of this world, which is the lack of save points. Like really, there's one save point and you have to go running through rooms to spawn Heartless. The layout of this world makes that really hard and tedious to do, but we got through it and went back over to Deep Jungle. Chat continued to hard carry this run by letting me know that Thunder Gems could be farmed here with Bambi instead of having to go to Atlantica. So we went through this world farming Thunder Gems and farming Serenity Powers from the Pink Agaricus whenever it appeared. The farming here went pretty smoothly. The Pink Agaricus was another special Heartless I was dreading, but it turned out to be pretty easy. At least for now. I didn't know it then, but Mushroom Jesus was gonna both bless and curse this run. We got all of our Thunder Gems and Serenity Powers and left for Wonderland. I continued following chat's advice and used Bambi to grind Frost Gems in Wonderland instead of Atlantica. We also encountered some shrooms here and there and were able to finally get some Mystery Goo. After getting the Frost Gems, I realized that by some miracle, we were actually almost done. We only needed to farm a few more special Heartless, the Neo Shadows, the Stealth Soldiers, and the Sniper Wilds. We went to End of the World to try to farm Neo Shadows. With their awful spawn rate, I decided to leave after grabbing one Stormy Stone, and I would just come back after doing other things. So the cycle would go, I would leave, I would go do other grinding, I would come back, spawn the Neo Shadows, get a Stormy Stone, and then leave, and then repeat that process over and over again until we had enough. In between Neo Shadow sessions, I went back to Hollow Bastion to try to farm Stealth Soldiers. Then chat, the hard carry of this run, died. So I use an app called Chatterino to see chat, and for some reason it disconnected and I wasn't able to see chat for a good while. They tried their hardest to help me with the Stealth Soldiers, but I just couldn't see them. All they could do was scream into the void while I played like a dumby. After almost 30 minutes, I noticed that chat on OBS was moving while Chatterino wasn't. Oh my god, dude. Hold on. Dude, my chat was frozen. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I don't know how long that was like that for. Okay, the last the last message I saw was Haru asking if you could stop the heartless, which was like at 9:43 according to the Chatterino thing. And thus the run was saved. While I couldn't see them, I finished the stealth soldier grind and was now attempting to farm the sniper wilds. Chat once again hard carried and gave me a strat to use. I was pretty hesitant at first, but eventually got the blizzard strat going. Uh-oh. How many is that? I got at least 2. This was a much more efficient way to grind these guys, so we were pretty much done in no time. Afterwards, we got another Stormy Stone from the Neo Shadows, then went back to the synth shop and synth as much as we could to determine what we still needed. Okay, we're missing 1 mystery goo for this. Okay, gotta go on the hunt for that. So I needed 1 mystery goo to unlock more of the items, so I went to Wonderland and tried to spawn more of the mushrooms. This was a very painful process. I nearly lost my mind running back and forth between these rooms. Chat suggested going to Deep Jungle to see if we'd have better luck, and we did. We got a mystery goo and we went back to the shop. We were missing 2 materials, dark matter and orichalcum. And if you'll remember from earlier in the video, these can't be farmed. They have to be found, bought, or synthesized. Luckily, I had enough money to buy the orichalcums, but I had to consult chat and the KH wiki to find dark matter. I finally remembered after 6 hours why we collected more pages and was able to get a free dark matter from 100 Acre Wood. With that, we were able to unlock the last items of the synth shop. Synthesis Vet, I got an achievement. Okay, Ultima Weapon, we need 5 more mystery goo, we need 1 more thunder gem, and then we need 3 more dark matter. Okay. So... oh gosh. I made notes of what we needed and how to get them. The lengthy part about this process would be the dark matter and the mystery goo. For the dark matter, we were pretty much out of findable ones, so we would need to synth a couple. And synthing a couple required synthing or finding mithril. And for the mystery goo, well... we already had pretty bad luck just getting the mushrooms to spawn, so I was definitely not looking forward to it. What? How am I supposed to do this? So we went full speed ahead to get these last few materials. It had been over 12 hours since the run started, and it was now past 11 AM for me. We're gonna watch the old recipes video, so I was still alive. Or I was still live. I am still alive. So, the thing is, I realized I wouldn't be able to complete this in one sitting. I actually had to leave for work at noon my time, so unfortunately we wouldn't be able to finish the run that night. Well, that day. Mushroom Jesus had unfortunately cursed us and prevented us from finishing the run. We only needed the mystery goo. We got the other materials but just couldn't find any mushrooms to spawn. After giving it my best effort, or at least as much effort as I can give in a completely RNG dependent situation, I went back to the shop and made the dark matters. To synth 2 more. Okay, so that gives us everything we need except for the 5 mystery goo, so we've done it. There we go. For now, I had to leave, but I would be back someday with a vengeance. I returned to the run a night later. Picking up where we left off, we only needed 5 mystery goo to complete the run. Luckily, thanks to friend of the stream Ninten, I had a more reliable way to farm them. His advice was to use the pink agaricus. That's right, Mushroom Jesus. Apparently, if you get 100 hits on him, he's guaranteed to give you a mystery goo. The strat is basically to use Eruga with stop and Ragnarok with hits in between. Funny enough, I would have known this if I had just used the Plat run as a reference instead of JJ, but it's too late for that now. So we got to work on farming the mystery goo. I didn't want to have to go fight Ice Titan for Diamond Dust, so I switched around my equipment as much as I could to get as much MP as possible, and then all I could do was pray. It took some time and some trial and error, but eventually, we finally did it. Did we do it? Oh my gosh, we did it. Oh my peep-o-w. We have enough mystery goo. Let's go! Thank you for all your help, everybody. Alright. We did it. We'll go ahead and synth their weapons too. And that was it. The run was technically completed. But after making the weapon, I decided to go finish the game, cause what's the point of making the strongest weapon if I'm not gonna kill stuff with it? Almost done. Give me like 3 seconds. We're done. We learned Vortex, nice. Thanks. In time to when I didn't know this run. That's a never again run. It's a never again in this decade run. Maybe next decade. Well, that was KH1 Ultima %. Done very poorly. Okay, watch this chat. Our reward for finishing the game is that the game will crash. Is it gonna crash? Oh, it didn't crash! Let's go! Oh my god, it didn't crash! No way, dude. That's our reward for this run, it didn't crash. And after that grueling session, we moved on to Kingdom Hearts 2. Another 12 hours? I don't think it'll take 12 hours though. I hope. So for Meme Run Monday, I did a category called Ultima %. I would start a new game file, then make the Ultima Weapon as fast as possible. Kingdom Hearts 2 improved upon many things from Kingdom Hearts 1, and thankfully synthesis is one of them. Instead of having to synthesize all the items in the shop, you only need to grab the ultimate recipe in the Twilight Town mansion and then gather the required materials. In addition to that, KH2 is the game that I'm the most familiar with. I mean, I play the randomizer every day, so it's gonna be easy. Right? Oh my goodness! No! No, I didn't... Oh, Prage. No! Anyways, some of those materials are pretty easy to farm. The real challenge is getting the Orichalcum Pluses. It says 13 of them are required, but don't believe it. The game is debating you. There are actually only 7 of them in the game, and the remaining cost is reduced by an energy crystal. So, the route to getting the Ultima Weapon can be summarized in these steps. So the first 2 on this list are pretty easy to grab, we just need to make our way through the game and go open those treasures. For the rest of these, we pretty much followed an all-worlds speedrun route. They sing this song, won a Grammy, then bounced. That's the way to do it, TBH. I would do that too. If I had a hit song, I would just bounce. Honestly, that would happen to me with streaming too. If I ever have a video that makes millions, I'm bouncing. You guys will never see me again. I missed 2 splits, Jesus. Whoops. Would I try BBS Rando at some point? Yeah, I would like to try, but I would like to play the vanilla game at least first, because I haven't played it recently at all. You saw my new emotes. You're a big fan of the Simba pausers. Oh yeah, I like the Simba as well. You know, I hate that the target switching is different between all 3 games. I'm trying to target switch using like KH3 and 1's target switching, and I keep forgetting that doesn't work here. Oh my goodness, that was close. Okay, we finally made it through. Jesus, dude. Don't you ever forget to pay all your taxes. Support our Discord, please, peepos. I was about to go grab the chests. Whoops. Holy peepo W. Why did I do that? This isn't rando, what the peepo? Say do you remember? Can we remix the two songs? I feel, man, I want to make that song now. It's probably already been made, right? I can't be the only one who hears that. Vanilla Reflect Monka. What kind of seed is this? Welcome to Ultima %2 Electric Boogaloo. Do I know how to use Bambi for synth grinding? I do not. I don't know Pay Laugh. God, Sonic CD music is so good. That reminds me, I need to pre-order Sonic Oranges. Don't do the rando strat chat. A Jote-style tourney with my made-up Meme Run Monday ideas. I like how we're listening to the Dances song and we're using Dance Call at the same time. Look at this, by the way. I got the little like glitch or whatever. No, it didn't take my input. Oh well, whatever. Let's go. Solid. That was good enough. That's better than what we've done before. Who is this? That is, Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. I should have died. I don't want to go through this with one hit. Oh my god, I am god gaming. We got through with one hit. Got through with critical HP. I was about to I was about to go into oh my god. Boo doo 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 doo. Fairly Odd Peepo. Yeah, I was about to go do 1k before doing PL1 like a dumbie. The shotgun 2 hours in. I keep Ooh, that was weird. Wow, that's so weird how quick running into this, like, is catapulting me to the left. The accidental rando in Ultima is in a chest. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I'm not sure what it is though. Because when I was looking at stuff for this run, there are maybe like 2 or 3 things that I didn't write down because I was like, oh, I'll remember. What the peepo, dude. Okay. I think I should have waited to do PL2 after all this other stuff. Jesus. You know, I would actually run the Ultima run again using a script that gave like a 100% drop rate. I would actually do it again. Yeah, maybe I'll do a revenge run with the drop rate script. Oh hey, we're in Wonderland. Ooh, that was close. Yeah, look at me actually doing genie strats decently. Oh my god, everything's exploding. Dude, like, a bunch of those assassins killed themselves. Oh my god. So after completing the third visit of Twilight Town, we beat Roxas, then forced Final Form. I went back to Twilight Town intending to level up both Final Form and Master Form for an aerial dodge and glide. However, I made an error in my routing where I wasn't able to level Master off of the Gamblers because I didn't have a drive converter. What I should have done was complete 100 Acre Wood before coming here to level, since doing that would have given me Sweet Memories, which has a drive converter on it. So I plan to come back later afterwards to level it. For now, we grinded some money, then we went to go have some finny fun. Hey, they're singing Beneath the Mask. Wow, this is the song you sing, Ariel? Low key, these are kinda going with the beat. Or they were. That almost lined up perfectly. Like when it went silent for a second and he bumped into the wall. The flute. They're fighting Ursula to this song. I think this is enough. Yeah, this is enough. It's definitely enough now.
Hello, my friends. I hope you enjoyed that arrangement.
Ariel giving us an ad? I'm gonna skip this. Dude, that video had another, it had another 3 minutes. Like what we were just listening to. So Atlantica gave us our third Orichalcum Plus. We went to 100 Acre Wood to get our fourth. Oh right, this is slowed down, I forgot. Or not slowed down, it's regular speed. After a very slow vanilla poo poggin, I made another mistake in routing and tried to do Space Paranoids too. However, that visit apparently doesn't unlock until you beat Olympus Coliseum 2, so we went over there to beat it really quickly. Then we went through Space Paranoids 2 to get our 5th Orichalcum Plus. At this point we only needed 2 more Orichalcum Pluses. One from the Goddess of Fate Cup, and another from collecting one of every 60 synth materials. Goddess of Fate Cup doesn't unlock until you beat all 3 previous cups and Xemnas at the top of the world that never was. So we went to beat Xemnas, then started on completing the cups. The first 3 cups didn't give me much trouble, but then there was the infamous Goddess of Fate Cup. Stitch? Please. Brought a bunch of Stitch merch. Oh my god, no. What the heck, dude? Okay. Okay, that's fine. Stitch, I really... Stitch, please. Please. Okay. Oh my god, dude. Wait! Oh, the timer. Man, that sucks. Okay. It took a bit of time, but we eventually beat the cup and got our 6th Orichalcum Plus. Oh my peep-OW, dude. We did it. GG's. Okay. Or I mean, not GG's, but we got what we needed. Holy peep-OW. Then it was time for the grind. A familiar segment from our previous run. This time I had absolutely no plan to tackle these items. I didn't even have a spreadsheet checklist like I had for KH1. My plan was basically to use the in-game materials list to see what I still needed. Guess how long this one took? So again, KH2 made synth a lot less painful. We don't have to synth all of the items in the game, so that cuts down the grind for materials down by quite a significant amount. We do need to get one of every synth item, but thankfully the drop rates in this game are much nicer. So the grind this time went a lot more smoothly than the KH1 run. And so by the end of the first hour, we were pretty much almost done. After only an hour, we needed a couple more items. We needed some items that are dropped from the enemies in the Cavern of Remembrance. We also needed a Remembrance Crystal, which we were actually able to get by using the randomizer core skip strat. Thank the peepos for rando core skip. Oh whoops, this is not right. Boo 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 doo. Do 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 do. There we go. After grabbing a few more stray items, the last thing we needed was a Lost Illusion, which are obtainable from defeating the absent silhouettes. I decided to beat Zexion for this since out of the 5 he was probably the biggest pushover. Marluxia is a fun but time-consuming fight. Lexaeus and Vexen would have been easy with my tools, but Zexion's still much easier. And Larxene... yikes. So we beat Bookboy and that was it. All we needed to do was synth a couple items in the shop to level up the Moogle. This would allow us to use an energy crystal to reduce the cost of the Orichalcum Pluses to 7, and then we could finally synth the Ultima Weapon. Wow, that was so much easier than KH1, holy peepo, dude. Let's go! That part's probably gonna get muted in the VOD because of the music, but it's okay. As with the KH1 run, I decided to beat final fights with the Ultima Weapon, cause again, what's the point in making it if I'm not gonna use it? Oh. Yeah, I forgot about this. Of course, I forgot. I was legit so confused for a second. At least this is good music to fight Dragon Xemnas too. Oh, it's time for bed, I guess. Give me Dome Skip. Give me Dome Skip. Why did Peepo, damn it, give me Dome Skip. Give me Dome Skip! Okay. I'm gonna start putting everything back. Cause for these meme runs I like move stuff around, but I'm gonna put everything back now while this is going. Let's take a look at this prediction. Actually, let me finish the run before I do that. Nice AMV. Okay, so we have to kill him by throwing our Ultima Blade at him. Well, there you go. That was KH2 Ultima Percent. A million times less painful than KH1. Overall, this run took 6.5 hours to complete in-game time and just under 7 hours real time. I definitely could have done this faster with better routing and better gameplay. Maybe we'll run it back someday and get a sub 6. Oh my god, I got the secret ending. For all the work that I did. Sure, that run was better. It was okay, I guess, but 1 week later, it was time to redeem myself. With that said, let's begin Kingdom Hearts 3. So for Meme Run Monday, I did a category called Ultima Percent. I would start a new game file, then make the Ultima Weapon as fast as possible. I've done this before for KH1 and 2, but this one would be different. This time, I actually had a proper route. I came up with one for 2 reasons. 1, to avoid the disaster that was the first 2 runs, and 2, I wanted to see if you could make the Ultima Weapon without having to beat the game first. And after hours of researching, routing, and practice, I discovered that not only could you make it before Skala Ed Kylum, but you could make it before even beating the Keyblade Graveyard. So if you wanted to use the Ultima Weapon on the Organization 13 fights and Xehanort without New Game Plus, you can do it. And I'm gonna show you how in a hopefully timely manner. Take a guess on how long this run will take. As with KH2, you thankfully don't need to synthesize every item in the workshop to unlock the Ultima Weapon. You need to collect 58 unique materials to unlock the recipe, then gather the required materials to synth the weapon. These 3 materials are straightforward to farm. It's the orichalcum pluses that are the most time consuming. So the route to getting the Ultima Weapon can be summarized in these steps. Since we're starting a new game, the general route is to complete all of the Disney worlds and the first visit of the Keyblade Graveyard, then work on these objectives. For our Dive to the Heart choices, we're picking the Wisdom route for more MP, and the Mystic route to get magic-focused abilities earlier. Speedruns choose these routes because magic is your best tool in this game. Our journey starts in Olympus, where we're immediately going to see why magic is really good. A lot of the enemies we're forced to fight in this world are fire cores, so naturally, we'll be putting them out with water. Also, something a little unique we can do is save the citizens that are in danger. We can get a couple materials from the enemies if we're lucky, which will help us chip away at that 58 materials count. And when we come back to this world later, the people you save will give you synth materials. Specifically mithril stones, mithril gems, lucid stones, and lucid gems. This is an easy way to grab them without having to farm them from enemies or asteroids. In the middle of our good deeds, we participate in some property damage to get a magic ring, then continue making our way through Olympus with our water spell and other magic-based tools like attractions. Then climb our way up Mount Olympus. By the way, there's an easy skip you can do. Get up on the sledge, then jump, air slide, hit, and repeat this until you get to the ledge above the waterfall. This skips the enemies down below you'd have to fight before running up here, and it also skips the sandworm fight in the alternative route up the mountain. Before Rock Titan, I grab a high ether because we're gonna need it for a specific boss later, then I defeat Rock Titan and grab the fluorite in the chest after him. Fluorites count as a unique synth material, so this brings us closer to our goal, and it's important to have for leveling up our Keyblades. For the satyrs, we can keep guarding them until the game lets us use Trinity Guard to destroy their armor. After defeating them, we'll grab another fluorite and elixir and take on the titans. Not gonna lie, this fight is... No, of course he goes invincible when I get the grand magic. Not great. What I do is use shot locks on the Ice Titan and water on the Lava Titan, and hope for the carousel for extra damage. Once they're dead, we fight a sad tornado, and we've completed Olympus. For now. After a quick fight with Riku and Mickey, we get to our first gummy segment. The gummies actually play a big role in achieving our goal of getting the Ultima Weapon. Not only do we need them for an Orichalcum Plus, but they're also going to let us get a couple extra materials. The speedrunners actually came up with a very efficient route to get through the gummy segments as quickly as possible. We'll be following it, and we'll start by taking an immediate right towards this waypoint. After activating it, we head straight for Twilight Town. Now, if you're playing on critical mode, this fight can be a pain in the peepo. I found the best way for me to get through this is to immediately do Meow Wow's finisher, use Kingdom Key's Shotlock to finish off this wave of dusks, then switch to Hero's Origin and use Air Step into Buzzsaw to build up Counter Shield. Charge up Counter Shield twice by guarding the enemy's attacks and use Wrathful Fury. Hopefully you get the pirate ship so you can use it to finish the fight. If not, keep using Wrathful Fury. For Demon Tide, Counter Shield Wrathful Fury is again a very effective source of damage. If you lost the form, just build it up again by attacking him and dodge his attacks. If you want extra damage, you can perform a Perfect Guard. This is done by guarding an attack from an enemy right before it lands. You'll know you've done it if Sora turns red while counterattacking. After the fight, we're going to start taking pictures of lucky emblems. We need 80 out of 90 of them to get an Orichalcum Plus, and we're going to start by getting all 9 of them here in Twilight Town. We continue the story in the woods. We're going to use all of our tools for many of these fights. Shotlocks, finishers, links, attractions, whatever you need to survive. I recommend building up Counter Shield again while fighting the monkeys to use it on the fight outside the mansion. We'll finish up the story here in Twilight Town while getting the rest of the emblems and a couple fluorites. Completing this world gets us Shooting Star, a Keyblade with a better magic stat. So we're going to use it along with a magic ring from Olympus. We can upgrade it once for an extra magic stat, and we do a bit of grocery shopping because we're about to cook. I'm uncultured and I don't know how to pronounce some of these dishes, so I'll let a robot tell you. We're gonna make sure we earn an excellent rating to make the plus versions of all of these dishes.
9 Soul Meunier. 7 Consomme. 7 Sweet Pret Poil.
Our cooking training paid off. We leave Twilight Town and head to Toy Box. On the way there, we're gonna take a picture of this constellation to get the Moogle ship. This is faster than Highwind, so we'll be using it from now on until we get an even better ship. We're also gonna do a cool trick to skip this gummy boss. As you enter the fight, mash either the camera or the button to turn your ship around, and you can skip fighting the boss. After beating the fight in Andy's room, we'll grab an emblem, mithril gem, and fluorite, and buy some mushroom and chocolate mousse dishes to make our EXP incentive meal. We grab some emblems outside and go to Galaxy Toys. After the Gigas fight, we grab a couple more emblems, and this high refocuser. We're gonna need this later for the boss of this world. We continue making our way through the story by fighting more Gigas and running through vents. I recommend opening this chest here for the gold amulet. Basically, this gives you bigger money drops, and it doesn't need to be equipped to Sora to work. Donald or Goofy can equip it, and you'll still get rich. You know how normally fighting Angelic Amber is a nightmare, especially on critical mode because of all the nonsense flying around you? Well, you can make it a million times easier by doing a trick to get out of bounds. To do this, you need to step up onto one of the animal dolls. Point your camera towards this large door while Sora is hopping on, press R1 to bring up your shot lock, and quickly press square when the gold square comes up. This should have you air step out of bounds. It's a bit tricky, but if you can get it, you can grab one of the mechs, grab this emblem, and camp outside the store using your exploders to damage the doll. This lets you defeat her safely and without frustration. Over in the next store is the UFO fight. This is another one of those fights that has a bunch of annoying garbage flying around trying to kill you. One strat you can do is use arrow guns to shoot the UFO. Otherwise, you can hope for attractions. Oh my god, this is... Imagine going on a ride like this. That was dumb. There was nothing I could do about that. Or use shot locks. Honestly, this fight is ridiculous and highlights some of the problems with this game in general.
But CJ, you're just a KH2 fan.
But moving on, there's a mithril stone here if you need one. We do the Verum Rex minigame, grab another high ether, and build the cactuar in the play place. Next up is the final boss of this world, but we're actually gonna hold off on that until we get the ultimate Keyblade. No, not Ultima Weapon. Ever After. Alright, now to the Rap Nuzzle. On the world map, we're gonna take off in our Moogle ship from the waypoint we unlocked earlier. Turn around when we spawn in and head for the Kingdom of... For the first fight, we're gonna use flow motion to quickly build up the second form of the Shooting Star Keyblade Magic Launcher, then store it for the next fight. For the second fight, we can use arrow to quickly get rid of the armor off of the Chief Puffs. After killing 2 of them, we can hop onto the sledge and shoot several waves of enemies with Magic Launcher. Then finish the remaining Puffs with arrow and fire. For the Reaper fight, we mainly use fires and shotlocks to kill them. We're also building up Magic Launcher again to store it for the Chaos Carriage boss. There's an emblem in the marsh area, and we're gonna start collecting the Damascus synth items. This will count towards the 58 materials requirement, and also lets us upgrade our Keyblades. There's several ways to get through this area near the mine quicker.
Sora, can you climb up to that ledge?
I sure can, Rapunzel. Never mind, no I can't. And once you're in the mine, there's another Damascus and another emblem. The pre-fight before Chaos Carriage can easily be done by using Magic Launcher's finisher on the first wave. Unfortunately, the monkey on top of the tower survived, but if that happens, you can just avoid the bombs and kill him when he stops. Meowwow's finisher can whittle down all of the monkey's health in the second wave, and we can finish them off with a couple hits. For Chaos Carriage, we're going to be using Ralph. Set the blocks up in a chain, use the finisher, and
Kaboom!
we can do this for all 3 phases and kill him very easily. This fight gives us the super jump ability, which allows us to jump up walls and grab items like this mage's earring. I also like to grab this high ether here as a backup for Mother Gothel. In town, there are 6 emblems. And I showed off this neat out of bounds strat to get a magic boost early. To do this, we set our FPS down to 30, then super jump off this building and do air slide chains. If you're in the right spot, eventually you'll air slide out of bounds, and now you can go around the buildings to get to the center plaza. To my knowledge, this trick only works on critical mode, since I think you need multiple air slides to get enough speed to get out of bounds. Once you're in the center plaza, style on these housewives with this barrel, and they'll move out of the way so you can get the magic boost. Just to note, this isn't necessary and speedruns don't do this trick because of that, but I personally do it in pretty much every run I do of this game because I think it's cool. After that, we dance, beat the lantern fight with fire in the carousel, then fight Mama G with Ralph. Ralph can one-shot her if you set it up correctly, but if not, we can use fires, shot locks, whatever we need to eventually beat her. Completing this world gives us the ultimate weapon. Ever After is super strong, and we're about to see why. After grabbing this emblem outside, we upgrade Ever After as much as possible, then spam shotlocks on the King of Toys to defeat it with no problems. 4 max shotlocks can defeat it. Use 2, pop that high refocuser we got earlier in this world, then use 2 more and he's done. Now we're gonna do more gummy routing, and this part is important because it's gonna set us up to get the Orichalcum Plus from the gummy boss, Omega Lol Machine. We're gonna tag this waypoint here, then head towards this glowing orb to take a picture of this constellation. This gives us the Endominion ship, which is as complicated to say as anemone.
Okay, don't hurt yourself.
So I'm gonna affectionately refer to this ship as Endy. Endy's gonna be a huge help in getting us the thing we need to get this Orichalcum Plus, and I'll explain how when we get there. But for now, we're gonna go back to the waypoint we started at and head towards Monstropolis. So earlier, we skipped the boss before Toy Box, and we can do the same to this one, but we're gonna fight it instead. In any percent speedruns of this game, you'll skip it, but the reason we want to fight this is because defeating it will give us the repair kit. That's gonna make fighting gummy bosses later much easier. The fights in Monstropolis are pretty much gonna consist of us using all of our tools. Links, attractions, shotlocks, magic, forms, situation commands, whatever we can use. There's also 10 lucky emblems to bring us closer to our goal of 80. So this world is pretty straightforward. Again, use whatever you need to survive these fights and collect the emblems on the way. Mike, Sully, can you help?
Let's see.
Never mind, I got it. The boss of this world, the Lump of Horror, tends to be a tough one on critical mode, due to him being a tank and making your damage look like you're playing KH2 on proud mode. I like using Blizzard for that little bit of extra damage, and I use Ever After's form clones to melt his health bar bit by bit. Eventually he goes into the ground and you get this phase, where we can kill him quickly if we do the right setup. We can use Ralph by starting a chain with the upward facing block, then jump up and place blocks near his head. If our setup is good, this can one-shot him.
Kaboom!
Next world is Arendelle. We're gonna leave from the waypoint we unlocked earlier, and before we go, I equipped the repair kit just so I wouldn't forget it later. As soon as we land, I want to make sure we have a Kupo coin, mainly because the slider section in this world is a pain in the peepo, and the coin will give us extra safety. There's a Damascus in these bushes if you need one, and we can do a little shortcut here with super jumps to get onto this ledge and get an emblem. Then go up this wall to continue the story. For the rock troll, the easiest way to beat him is use Simba Roars, then use his finisher to kill all the deer and do a good chunk of damage to him. Then finish him with 2 max shotlocks. The Ice Labyrinth fights can all be taken care of by Simba. As soon as the fight starts, summon him, then use his finisher. Most of the time, that'll end the fight, but if you get unlucky and one of the enemies survives, you can kill it with magic or a shotlock. There are also 4 emblems in here, so we're gonna grab those to get us about halfway to our goal. Before we leave, there's another Damascus here if you need it, and we can make our way up the mountain and grab this emblem before Elsa sings Let It Go, and we get to the slider section. I like to use a defense boost here if I have it, and also make sure to eat and equip my best armor for this segment. Since we've been collecting emblems, you should have some extra armor to keep you safe. Once we escape that, we slide down the mountain to fight more frost serpents using Simba and fire magic. Next we equip Double Flight, collect Olaf, use Simba to get through this fight, and go up the mountain again. Near the top, we can get this very well hidden emblem and this other one here before we fight Marshmallow. For Marshmallow, we can use Ralph to destroy him.
Kaboom!
Then after the fight, grab this emblem, this force ring. Then I start building counter shield for a strat that never works, but I attempt it anyway because on the rare occasion it does work, it looks cool. There's one more emblem to get on these logs before arriving at this save point and Moogle shop. Here I upgrade Hero's Origin as much as I can and buy a Kupo coin if I lost it during the slider segment. Then for the storm section, we can use Simba to leap up this ledge and use his roar if the wind picks up to prevent us from being pushed back. Now to show off this cool RNG dependent strat. I start out with a max shot lock with Ever After, do a fire combo to push him past this amount of health, then... Okay, that wasn't a crit counter, but oh well. Damn it, the wolves messed it up. Oh, that didn't even hit him? Okay, whatever. Fine, we'll just do it casually because of the stupid wolves. Okay, yeah, never mind. This strat sucks. An alternative way to get through this is to spam fire, then when he does his DM, use small shot locks to kill the little wolves. Once he's out of the DM, we can use max shot locks and more fire spam to kill him. And now we head over to Caribbean. We chase the boat with Blizzard, use Simba to kill these anchor raiders, then after some sailing, we fight the Sky Chicken. Oh, I just can't wait till this ends. This world, by the way, not the run. Or, well, I guess the run too. The run is okay. Why does he have so much ducking health? Again, you should have extra armor from all the emblems we collected to help keep you safe, and other than that, you just have to use the aerial dodge ability to stay alive. There's not really a way to speed up this fight, so have fun. When that's done, we dive into the ocean and take a small detour at these crates to get this adamantite. Then before we fight the angler, we're gonna warp out of this save point back to the Moogle. Here we can upgrade Ever After, buy some ratatouille and crepes to get a better EXP meal, and stock up on ethers if needed. Then warp back to the angler. A reliable strat for this guy is to use Sea Fire, but not use the finisher. I have a combo plus on, so I can use 3 Sea Fires, then dodge, then repeat. It's better to avoid using the finisher because it's slow, and if he attacks, there's a better chance he'll hit you. After defeating him, we can get Ariel and a Celestriad on this ship. Then we have some boat sections, which I don't like and I'm not good at. So I get through them with a lot of resentment in my heart for the devs who thought this was a great idea, then land on the boat where you can use Simba, and now we're in Port Royal to collect some crabs. There are 6 emblems to grab here, and I'd also recommend grabbing the Sorcerer's Ring to have another good accessory. Also, if you're looking for a way to get a lot of crabs really quickly, you can use Favorite Deputy's shot lock on these barrels to get about 100 or so. When we're done, we're gonna complete our second plan. Basically, we're gonna dodge roll or air slide from cannon to cannon to shoot the flans flying at us, and occasionally hit the bell in the middle to shoot multiple cannons at the same time. It's pretty straightforward. Afterwards, we set sail, and before doing yet another boat fight, I stop at this island here to get more crabs to upgrade the ship for the surge ability. We complete the fight, again with resentment, and before going to fight the Kraken, we stop at this island to equip our best accessories, abilities, and leave to complete San Francisco first. San Fran is mostly pretty straightforward. There's a bunch of emblems we can collect here in one go, and a lot of these fights can be cheesed in some way. We can use Thundaga on the bridge, then for the Rock Troll, use Ariel to melt him. Ariel is good for big enemies with big hitboxes, so we can use her on enemies like this, and for others later on. There's an emblem in Hero's Garage, and during the Shugyo game, we can get 6 more. After beating the fight on top of the skyscraper, we can use Ariel to quickly melt the dinosaur. There are 3 more emblems we can grab before we rescue Big Hero 6 from the Dark Cubes, as well as another adamantite and an electrum. The electrum is yet another synth material that'll count towards the 58 we need, and if you want, you can use it to upgrade your Keyblade. We save 4 of the 6 trapped members, then fight the Dark Cubes. I have a simple strat that'll skip his DM. You'll need Firaga and Air Combo Plus, as well as the Rune Ring, Celestriad, and Sorcerer's Ring equipped, along with 5 Ethers, Ever After upgraded at least 6 times, and use as many magic boosts as you can. The strat is basically 3 fires, pop an Ether, and repeat 5 times, then use Firaza into max shotlock. 1 2 3 1, 1 2 3 2, 1 2 3 3, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 5, 1 2 3 4 Firaza, and max shotlock. Oh my god, I did it! Yes! We skipped the DM by spamming fire. And finally, we fight Dark Baymax. Fun fact here, as soon as you skip this cutscene, hold down R2 or whatever your shoot button is, and when you spawn into the fight, a little bit of his health will be gone. There's not much to this fight, it's pretty much just shooting him and dodging his attacks. Oh shoot. Why did the game crash? What happened? Hopefully your game doesn't crash like mine did. To this day, I still don't know what caused this, but I was messing with mods before running this, so that might have something to do with it. Hopefully? Yes! Okay. I've never been so happy to hear Hero say ow. Now we have one more Disney World. We beat the Kraken, then fight Davy Jones. There's a couple ways to fight him, with the safest way being to use links. I use Stitch at the beginning of the fight by making big electric rectangles on the top deck. That takes a bunch of his health. Then when he spawns tentacles, I use Ariel to quickly get rid of them. You can also use Ralph to kill him, though it's kinda hard to set up. I messed it up the first time I tried it, but the second time, we got him. After beating all of the Disney worlds, the game has you fight a couple bosses. One is the Demon Tower as Riku, the next is Aqua, who we can beat by doing a max shotlock into a fire combo into another max shotlock. Exciting stuff. Then we fight Vanitas as Aqua. I don't have a strat for this, I just kinda do whatever to survive. I'll use all of my max shotlocks, all of my magic, and go into the Spellweaver form whenever it's available. Basically, just kill him. And we've arrived at the last area of the game. This section is straightforward: beat the Gummy Boss, beat the 10,000 Heartless fight, gather Sora's clones. Is this what they play in heaven? Then here I'm gonna eat an EXP incentive meal, and take the time to get to level 34 for an extra magic increase and thunder boost. For the Lich, I'm gonna be using the Nano Gear Keyblade's max shotlock and the Thundaga if I need it. Once we're done, we're finally at the home stretch. In terms of the story, we have the fights against Organization 13 in the Keyblade Graveyard, and Xehanort and Scala at Kylam. But again, we can get the Ultima Weapon before all that. And here's how. We can get our first Orichalcum Plus in this chest in the final world. Next, we're gonna get our menu set up for grinding materials. In this run, I equipped the Epic Games exclusive Keyblade Elemental Encoder for its Lucky Strike ability. If you're playing on Steam, the Steam exclusive Keyblade, Dead of Night, should also have that ability. If not, Favorite Deputy from Toybox has it. We're also gonna be equipping any Lucky Strikes we have on Sora, Donald, and Goofy. If you happen to have accessories with Lucky Strike, you can also equip those. Now we're back to where it all started, Olympus. So we have 3 things we need to do here. Grab 12 emblems, get a high score on the Sour Cherry Flan, and get synth materials. For the synth materials, you can go talk to the people you saved on your first visit to get some mithril materials, and you can easily grab specific ones while you're here. Another way to keep track of the materials you need is by using the Collector's Goals menu in the Moogle Workshop. Here you can see which materials you've already obtained. Our next stop is Twilight Town. Here we have two things to do. Grab the emblems in 100 Acre Wood, and mail postcards. The 3 emblems in 100 Acre Wood should give you 80, and along with it, the second Orichalcum Plus. Now we'll just buy something from the shop and start mailing postcards. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, you can get some cards from the Moogle, then save scum your way into getting the Orichalcum Plus. If you get lucky and get a lucky ring, I recommend keeping it and saving over your file you made before you started mailing. Obviously, this one isn't hard to get, it just requires some patience. For me, it took about 5 to 10 minutes before I got mine. Split! Nice. Alright, let's get the peepo out of here. 3 down, 4 more to go. So here's the part where we go to perhaps the most infamous minigame in Kingdom Hearts 3. And that's Frozen Slider. Basically, we need to get all 10 treasures you can find on the mountain to get an Orichalcum Plus. Thankfully, you don't have to grab all of them in one run, but you'll have to play it at least a few times to grab them all. I'm not an expert at this game. I followed guides by Soralum1 and Biscuit047, so I recommend doing the same if you're stuck on this. I'm able to get 4 treasures in one run, then 2 in one run, then the rest I grabbed individually. Oh. Okay. The pause buffering. Or something like that. I don't know. Yay! C for CJ. There we go. Completing this not only ensures we never have to do this again, but it also gives us our 4th Orichalcum Plus, and as a little bonus, Master Treasure Magnet, which will help a lot with synth hunting. There's a flan at the bottom of the cliff we need to get a high score on. I just use Simba and Shotlocks to deal with this one. Then the last thing we need to do here is hunt for materials. For me, it took quite a while to get what I needed, and I actually ended up synthing the second pulsing crystal. This is something else you can do if you're stuck trying to find a certain material. Check the workshop to see if you can make it and gather the materials needed. We have 2 things to do in Toy Box, and that's do the flan minigame and do more synth hunting. That's basically going to be what we're doing in our remaining worlds. For the strawberry flan, you can go around in a circle in the middle, gathering flans while you do so to get an easy high score. Then here in Toy Box, you can gather these specific materials if you need them. Next, we're going back to... Again, we're playing with the flan and synth grinding. For this flan, I take pictures of these specific ones. Three, 4, 5. Check out this dessert. Thank you. And then we'll just take a picture of this one.
Let's see.
I think you need at least 23,000 or so for a high score, so what I did here was overkill, but it at least gets you what you need. Then these are the materials you grab here if you need them. Over to Monstropolis to, you guessed it, play with the flan and hunt materials. For the banana flan, I like to run around him and cast Thunders and Thundaza when I get it. Apparently you need over 20,000 to get a high score, so just cast Thunder and dodge him when he tries to eat you until you get there. And these are the materials found here. The honeydew flan will be our final one. I don't have a strat for this, pretty much just play the game and get a score over 15,000. This gives us our 5th Orichalcum Plus, and these are the materials we need from here. Alright, last world before we do gummies. Here we're gonna sail to Exile Island, which is in the middle of the map, and we're gonna open the chest in the middle of the island to get our 6th Orichalcum Plus. Just one more to go. And lastly, here are the materials you can grab from Caribbean. For the record, the grind here took me a little bit, and I ended up synthing my 2nd Lucid Crystal rather than trying to find it. At this point, we have all the materials we need, except a Mithril Crystal. We can easily grab one, along with other materials, by opening this treasure sphere. Okay, now we go fight the thing. Not this thing. No. After we get that, we're gonna go to the center of this map to fight the Schwarzgeist. Our ship, Endy, is pretty powerful, so it should have no problem defeating this thing. We also have the repair kit we got from the boss earlier to heal ourselves if our health gets low. The reason we defeat this boss is so we can get the Golden Highwind. The Golden Highwind is one of, if not the most powerful gummy ship we can obtain, and it's gonna make this last part super easy. Now we can go to the Eclipse Stream, equip the repair kit and teeny ships onto our new ship, and fly around the giant ship in the middle to unlock the Omega Machine. There are 3 fights around the ship, and 1 on the bottom. Defeating all of them unlocks the boss at the top of the ship. Just shoot, use your boost for extra damage, use your repair kit when your health is low, and you should eventually beat it and get the 7th and final Orichalcum Plus. Now go to a Moogle shop and synth the Ultima Weapon. Yes! We got it! Oh my peepo W. There we go. Oh my god, it's beautiful. So there you go. Now you have the Ultima Weapon ready to take on the rest of the Keyblade Graveyard and Xehanort. I'll leave the rest to you, but here's a sneak preview of how powerful this thing is. Boo-dee-dee-dee-dee. GG's. And that's how I obtained the Ultima Weapon in Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3. If you made it this far, consider checking out some of my other videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next run. I guess routing made a big difference. And my frames are dropping. Nice timing, dude.